Good evening, you're watching Estuary News. In the headlines tonight, record-breaking figures for the City of Culture, the cancellation of a coastal cycling event, and a batch of eggs land on an East Yorkshire school. And later in tonight's programme, I'll be talking to Mick Enright about Burro Fest. Before that, it's a case of art in the park with Gerald Fox. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Wednesday's programme with me, Luke Adams. First tonight, 9 out of 10 people living in the City of Culture took part in cultural activities in the first 3 months. The findings by the University of Hull has shown that over 1.4 million visits were made to the city during the first season. Hull museums and galleries have reported more than 500,000 visits in the first 4 months of the year. The university suggests that the UK City of Culture status is bringing a feel-good factor and increased confidence to Hull. We're just scratching the surface of Hull's fishing past. That's how Hull Vicar Tony Cotson has described the £27.5 million plans to make Hull Yorkshire's maritime city. He's the chaplain of the fishing group Stand and has welcomed the investment. He says seeing the city's historic vessels front and centre will do great things for tourists coming in.
We have a great story to tell. We're just beginning to scratch the surface of that story. They've done a wonderful job with the Arctic Corsair, which is in the museum quarter, and for the Corsair to find a permanent home is great. And for us to have buildings, museum pieces that's going to employ people, and the many people that will come to the city will have a wonderful experience and they'll learn what was, in a sense, the heartbeat of the Hessel Road community and the city.
Tony was speaking at a new exhibition at his church, St John the Baptist, on St George's Road in Hull. It opened to the public last week and tells the stories of Hull's fishing past. Tony says it's bringing people today in touch with the people that lived in and around the Hessel Road fishing community in the past.
It was quite emotional for some people. They've come along. As they've been round and had a look at the exhibition, at the end have sat down in the pews and had a look at the video that's on a loop system. And on the video, there's more information there, and some of them have seen loved ones who passed away in their early 20s. And, you know, that can be quite an emotional thing to see your father or your granddad at that time. Well, it's been put together in the main by young people. We've also got a lot of local artists that's been part of it. And we even had a chap send some art from Rotterdam. He came in last Friday and he was staying with a group that had come across on the ferry, and they had an exhibition in the market area, fruit market area. So we've had pieces from all different sections of the community.
A major cycle race for Cleethorpes has been cancelled. The Cleethorpes Super Prix was scheduled to take place in September, but it's emerged that many of the resort's roads are in a poor state and would pose a danger to racers. Event organisers would have been responsible for any resurfacing works needed. The event was expected to attract 600 riders and 10,000 spectators. Event organiser Rich Studley is looking to hold the event next year. East Yorkshire Motor Services are joining the likes of London and Edinburgh with open-top bus tours around Hull. The Hull Explorer will take visitors on a tour of some of the city centre's sites, including the Cenotaph, the Wilberforce Monument and the Marina. A tour guide will tell the story of the city. The tour bus will have 6 journeys a day on Thursdays through to Mondays, kicking off on the 22nd of July. And a bit of dinosaur news now. A batch of eggs have been found on a local school field, but thankfully all as part of a school project aimed at boosting children's creativity. Swanland Primary Academy was the scene of the discovery, and Hannah Stevenson, head of school, explains all.
We haven't had very many dinosaurs on the field before. This is the first time. We did have an alien rocket land once before. That was quite exciting too, but this is the first time we've seen dinosaurs. The children are really excited about it. There's lots of children been looking for clues. They think they've found lots of clues all the way around school, and they're really excited about what they're going to be doing.
It was just like in our field and right at the edge of the football pitch, and it was very, very because like there was everybody huddled around the barriers, and then one of our teachers said that the police had been informed, so it was very, very surprising.
They're gonna probably start hatching, and then if they do hatch, I think we're gonna put them in a cage.
We were surprised because last year we had an alien the same time, and now we have these, which is really exciting for us.
So they're learning not only about dinosaurs, about where dinosaurs came from, the kind of artefacts that the dinosaurs have left behind, because we've had the dinosaur expert into assembly and meeting with all the children over the week. We're going to be doing some creative activities, making masks, working in different groups with different aged children, but also the creative writing that the children can get from it, giving them really great ideas for their writing.
I think it's all about the imagination, because we don't know everything about dinosaurs, so there's a lot we don't know. We have to sort of fill in the gaps with our imagination. We have to, imagine what they looked like, how they lived, what colour they were, this sort of thing. So the exciting thing is that they are real. It's a real thing that happened those millions of years ago, but we need to try to fill in the gaps to make it more, to see exactly what they were about by using our imagination. Kids have a terrific imagination.
A park in Hull is set to be transformed into a giant outdoor gallery by talented young artists. To tell me more about art in the park, I'm delighted to welcome my first guest tonight, Gerald Fox. Gerald, good evening. Thank you very much indeed for coming and welcome to the programme.
Thank you.
First of all, art in the park, tell me where this idea came from.
Well, last year, as part of City of Culture, there was the opportunity to create creative community projects.
Okay.
So I got my thinking hat on, and I love visiting the Yorkshire Sculpture Park. I love sculpture, and I love exploring sculpture in an outdoor environment, and I thought that this would be an ideal opportunity to maybe put together a project that involved the children at my school exploring sculpture in an outdoor setting. And the school at which I work is literally a stone's throw away from Pickering Park.
Which is where the event is going to
be
held, isn't
and
it?
Hull's blessed with lots of fantastic green spaces. Pickering Park is one of them, and it's a much loved and much used amenity by the children at my school and the other schools who are working with us. So it seemed that we could put together culture and the park, and we came up with art in the park.
Fantastic concept, and lots of creativity, I assume, Gerald.
Absolutely, yes.
Lots of, 3 schools are involved with this project, your school being one of them.
That's
Who
right.
Who are the other schools who are on board?
So there's my own school, Bridgeview Whitehouse Sullivan Centre, and we're working with Christopher Pickering Primary School and Ganton School.
Okay.
And the 3 schools are going to be working with a local artist, Michelle Davey.
Okay. So she's been involved working with the children ahead of this event. How receptive have the children been?
Well, we've had, Michelle's been spending a couple of days in each school, running some workshops with different classes and different ages of children, and they've gone really well. So Michelle has been introducing them to all the different sorts of techniques that they can use in land art. Land art and environmental art is about using natural materials to create sculpture. And that's what she's been doing with the children, and they've made some incredible work, and some of that work's going to be on display tomorrow and Friday in Pickering Park.
Fantastic. So you say, Gerald, some incredible work, and I'm sure it is. What is some of the work which these children have created?
Well, she came to our own school, fantastic, and they've been making these wings, and the wings they have they have a frame made out of willow. And then what they have is like a sticky back plastic, and then the children select their materials. They could be feathers, they could be leaves, and then they create these incredible leaves. And a lot of them have created symmetrical wings, and so they were inspired by different butterflies and moths and incredible patterns and shapes that they've created within the wings. So that's just one of the things. They've also been working a lot with self-hardening clay and making small creatures, as well as the art aspect. There's been a lot of cross-curricular links. So Michelle's been getting them to think about wildlife, about nature, about insects, about bugs, about spiders, how many legs has it got, how many wings has it got, what patterns. And so the children have been linking both that knowledge of nature with their art and using that to inspire what they've been making.
Fantastic. So lots of great work to showcase at the event.
Absolutely.
Gerald, I believe it's taking place tomorrow and Friday, isn't it?
That's right.
At Pickering Park.
Pickering Park. We kick off at 10 o'clock and we're going to be there right through till 2:30. And the idea of the event is it's an outdoor gallery. So our tagline is where the land is the art and the trees are the canvas. So there's lots of things to see, but there's also lots of things to do.
Okay.
So it isn't just about coming along and seeing our children's fantastic artwork, which is great in itself, but there are going to be lots of opportunities for people to come along and have a go themselves. So Michelle's going to be there with a team of City of Culture volunteers, and we've got lots of different stations, and there's going to be lots of different activities for people of all ages to come along and have a go at making some environmental art themselves, and either taking it away or maybe just leaving it in situ around the park, because obviously a lot of the materials we use are biodegradable. And so there might be trails, they might be hung on the trees, hung from branches, so people can take away stuff or they can leave it there.
So this is branching out, to the wider community.
Absolutely, it's an opportunity for everybody to unlock their own creativity, and you don't have to be a great artist. Michelle's there to facilitate that. She's absolutely fantastic. I've seen that with our children, how
Excellent.
she can get the children to really create something. And people will be able to do that themselves.
Sounds like it's going to be a fantastic event, Gerald. I wish you all the best over the next couple of days. Thank you very much indeed for coming in this afternoon. Time for a break now. Coming up in the second part of tonight's news, I'll be talking to Mick Enright about Cleethest. We have some big questions for little people and sporting action courtesy of our man Dan Kemp. Welcome back to Estuary News. Still to come this Wednesday evening, some big questions for little people, and I'll be talking to Mick Enright about Burro Fest. North Lincolnshire Council is supporting more litter picks in the community. It follows the success of the Great British Spring Clean, which took place in March. Local people, community groups and charities across the county are being encouraged to rally together and help clean up their local area. The first litter pick takes place on the 15th and 16th of July as part of summer clean-up. Further events are planned for September and December. Big-hearted anglers have raised over £1,000 for charity. 17 anglers took part in the annual John Parker Memorial Trophy fishing match at Helmstead Lakes in Immingham. It was in aid of Lindsay Lodge Hospice in Scunthorpe. The event sees anglers draw for fishing positions on the lake before embarking on a 4-hour competition to catch as many fish as possible. The person who catches the heaviest weight is crowned the winner. Singing workshops and group performances are set to raise the roof at Hull City Hall next month. The Bigger Sing appeals to all types of singers and will offer a range of genres including gospel, a cappellas for male voices and beatbox choir. The event is aimed at adult singers, choirs or singing friends. Participants will be led by some of the UK's top singing leaders, including international beatboxer and sound artist Jason Singh and award-winning composer and choir leader Helen Yeomans. The event takes place on Saturday the 15th of July from 9 a.m. It's supported by Hull City Council Arts Development and Arts Council England. Time for our new weekly feature now, Big Questions, Little People. England's under-21s footballers lost out in yet another penalty shootout to the Germans last night. England's goalkeeper in that game has recently been sold at a cost of £30 million. So we decided to ask the children at Pilgrim Academy in Immingham if they could think of anything better to spend that amount of money on.
Welcome, Big Questions, Little People from Pilgrim Academy.
I would spend it on a big mansion where I would bring all my family members to live there, so then they don't have to, so then they have enough money to live, so then they can have what they want. But, and I would also get a private aeroplane, so then we can go, so I can go travel across the world.
A house, and a car.
I'll spend it on a poo car. Not a poo car, a pool car. And if you search on the internet, you go on julian.com, you will find poo car inventions. And basically it's a car which has pools in it, which has a toy car, a car inside a car, and it has a pool and with banana milkshake in it, which you can just drink. Amazing. I would buy a mansion. I'll buy a limousine with a hot tub in it, which if you decide that you need the loo in the hot tub, because and then there's going to be a magical filter system that my Uncle Martin, who I'm gonna Uncle Marty, who I don't even know, I'm not even sure I've got an Uncle Martin. I'm gonna put a magical spell on him to make sure that he's a wizard, so he makes the magical filter system work.
I have to say a private jet with autopilot.
How about you, Bailey?
I'd buy a mansion and the fastest car in the world.
I'd spend a bit on getting not like a massive house because don't want anyone like being jealous or getting mad at you, and then I'd just spend it on like an average size house, and then if I have like children, I'd spend it on them, and then if I have any left, I'd give it to my family if they need it or people who need it more than I do. I'd get a house that I can afford, and so I can afford it instead of just buying it for 30 million and then not having any money. And so I get one that I can afford, and then I get a car, and if I've got any left, then if I've got children, I'd spend it on them, and then I'd give to charities and family.
The inaugural Burro Fest is coming to Grimsby later next month. To tell me more about the event, I'm delighted to welcome my second guest tonight, Mick Enright, an old friend of SU News. Welcome to the programme once again, Mick.
Thank you, Luke.
Burro Fest. First of all, tell me where the idea came from.
Well, we was at out early part last year with we met a guy called Mike Goddard.
Okay.
Who was part of
Lucalis.
Well, yeah, the part of the now part of that, but it's Grimsby Borough football.
Okay.
And so we said about Clee Fest had happened the year before, so he said, I wouldn't mind doing something like that. So I said, well, think of a name. So a name came up with Burro Fest, because obviously that is football.
Uh-huh.
They've now bought into Lucalis. Because
that's recently become a social enterprise as well, hasn't it?
Yeah, very much so. They've got their own football pitch on there now.
Okay.
So we wanted to launch that by some form of festival.
Okay.
So we'll putting this together about there now, and obviously that's on July the 8th.
July the 8th.
You know, so obviously it's a new concept for them, but it's the future because they want to develop and raise funds and everything else. So it's young people in the football right up to the senior players.
Is it similar to Clee Fest? Because I know with Burro Fest, like you say, it's taking place on the 8th of July. There's a lot of tribute acts involved, isn't there? Bon Jovi, White Snake. Yeah. So is it looking at some of those, similar themes to the successful event you host? Well,
yeah. I mean, we've put the music together, and obviously we're putting local bands in. We've actually got the Kill this year, which is part of the Killers. Bon Jovi, which is. He's been to Clee Fest and it was magnificent.
Great.
And then they had him at the Beachcombe and he sold out this year.
Great.
So he's really, and it's important that you support our local people in terms of local football, various things. And so and there's a big firework display.
Yes, I read about that actually. Yeah. So what's involved with the firework display?
Oh, well, we're going to shoot a few of them up in the air.
At the end of the festival?
The end of the festival, yes, end of Burro Fest. But there's going to be all sorts of things happening on the day,
Okay. What other events are taking place during the course of the day?
Well, there'll be all sorts of entertainment for kids and face painting and various things and stalls, and obviously as much as we can put in, bounces to encourage the family to come along, because it is their festival. Absolutely. There's something like, I think about 500 members or something like that, so they should be selling tickets quite clearly, and obviously from their point of view, it's about first step into something they've never done before.
Excellent.
And if we can help them do that, then fine.
Yes, very important.
Very.
If people want to come along to Burro Fest, Mick, how can they? Because I believe it's a ticketed event.
Yeah, there's tickets event. Obviously tickets. And on the day there is sale tickets, but tickets at TIC and obviously at Lucalis.
At the Tourist Information Centre.
Lucalis and Solid Entertainment, and contacting the football team on Facebook and things like that.
Okay, so there's lots of ways to get in touch.
Lots of ways
to get in touch. And let's hope it becomes another successful cultural event, Mick, in the Grimsby and Cleethorpes calendar.
Yeah, let's hope so, Luke.
Fingers crossed. I hope it all goes well.
Yeah.
And see you soon.
Thanks
you,
Luke.
very much for coming in, Mick.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Now it's time for all the latest news from the world of sport with our man Dan Kemp.
Albert Kelly and Mark Minicello are back for Hull FC for Friday night's top-of-the-table clash in Castleford. Both were rested for last week's win, but have been recalled by head coach Lee Radford. Danny Washbrook is in as well. He's in line for his 300th senior appearance. Steve Michaels misses out though, having taken a knock last time out. Meanwhile, Lee Radford says he's expecting Castleford to go for revenge when the sides meet on Friday. The two sides meet for the second time in as many weeks after FC knocked them out of the Challenge Cup. The Black and Whites are second in Super League, with Castleford the side above them, but 7 points clear. Football now, and Hull City will use Hull KR's Craven Park ground for a pre-season friendly next month. The KCOM Stadium is undergoing maintenance, so the Tigers will travel to the east of the city to play French Ligue 1 club FC Nantes. The game kicks off at 7:30 on the 25th of July. And City will be unveiling their new home kit at an exclusive launch next week. 100 fans will be selected to attend the unveiling at the Street Life Museum next Thursday. The Scunthorpe United players return to full pre-season training today. Graham Alexander's squad completed some testing yesterday and will now set about building fitness ahead of the new season. And Taron Hare, who spent last season at North Ferriby United, has signed for Boston United. He was a key player for the Villagers in their one and only season in the National League last time out. And that's all for the sport.
As always, thank you very much, Dan. That's it for tonight. If you have a news story, then please visit our Facebook or Twitter pages or email news@estuary.tv. You can also phone our news desk, which is a Grimsby number 01472315553. Contact details are on the screen as we speak. Or the old-fashioned way, of course, is to write to us at Estuary TV, Nuns Corner, Laceby Road, Grimsby, North East Lincolnshire, DN34 5BQ. As always, we look forward to hearing from you. Join me same time tomorrow when I'll be joined on the server by Andy Train, telling me about plans for this year's Hull Pride, plus our very own Michelle Layla with all the latest developments from the City of Culture. From all of us on the team, have a great Wednesday evening.